Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Mark Wasserman, who, in matter of disclosure, happens to be my second cousin. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great, Annie. Thanks for having me in your show.
Oh, I'm delighted that you're here. The holidays are coming up, and Mark has a really, really interesting project that he's been doing for kids, with kids for a while. It's with kids and for kids. It's called Houses for Change. And because we're talking about the holidays and goodwill towards men and women, and just the idea of generosity and the concept of teaching kids to be good people, which is really, really all about having them look actively for opportunities to help others. So, Mark, I would love to find out more about Projects for Change, but before we get there, I want to know as you were growing up, now we are cousins, but we didn't reconnect really until we were adults. As you were growing up, what values in terms of philanthropy and kindness and generosity do you feel like you got from your parents?
Absolutely. That's where my values came from, and I think that's where our children's values come from the examples that we set as parents and grandparents. And my parents were very actively involved in the community. They worked full time, more than that, in their own small business, but they also gave back in their community at their synagogue and giving charity and teaching about those who are have less resources than we do was, in fact, one of their goals, and I think I've inculcated that.
It's really important to have these conversations with kids, and it's not just one conversation or just one time of year. Obviously, people are in need all the time, and those of us who have more resources, as you say, than others, really need to kind of broaden our kids' perspective of the wider world. Around the holiday season, when there's lots of gift giving for all kinds of holidays, kids often get into the gimme, gimme, gimme mode. And it's hard for them to think about others. And what I loved about your project when I first heard about it was that you're really opening minds. You're letting kids have a new awareness that there are other kids who are like them in many ways, but unlike them in this disparity of resources. So how did you get involved in Projects for Change?
Houses for Change was
Excuse me,
actually, I
Houses for Change.
thank you, is an idea that I literally dreamed up 4 o'clock in the morning one day because of
Really? I mean, it came to you as a dream?
it came to me as a dream.
Oh,
And
tell me about that.
I poked my wife in the ribs and said, "You want to hear my brilliant idea?" And she said, "Yes, sure. Tell me your brilliant idea." Though I'm not sure that's what she really was thinking at the time. And I had that day done my first volunteer experience with the homeless families in our community in a interfaith response to homelessness in our community called Family Problems of South Palm Beach County. And I was obviously very moved by this experience, very moved by this plight that so many of our families in our community have fallen into homelessness. And I dreamed up this idea, which was, wouldn't it be terrific if kids made collection boxes that looked like a house, and then they filled it with change and used that money that they saved to donate to any homeless charity of their choice.
Wow, it's really simple, and the best ideas often are. Show me what one of those houses looks like.
So this is an example of the undecorated cardboard boxes. In fact, the before of the Houses for Change project has done it
Oh, it's
with
kind of
kids.
like a bank. I see it's got a slit in the top.
Well, or a Happy Meals takeout food box, which is in fact
Okay.
what is modeled after. So if you use your imagination, that Happy Meals box has 4 walls and it has 4 roofs. And as you correctly pointed out, one of the roofs has a pre-cut slot in it for kids to be able to put their change and their family to put their savings in and make this a piggy bank collection box or Advent box or Lenten box, whatever you want to call it, or tzedakah box in Jewish tradition, and you donate that money to any homeless charity. And of course, you now have 4 walls or 4 canvases to decorate with art supplies, collage materials.
That's great. So, an organization, for example, that you reach out to for their interests, and they say, "Yeah, we would love it. We would love to get our kids and our families involved in Houses for Change." What's the next step for them?
Go to our website, housesforchange.org, and there's all the materials you need to organize this project with your church, your synagogue, wherever you have students at schools, or with your family. And you'll see great photos of proud kids with the boxes that they've made. You'll see videos about how to do this project, instructions and age-appropriate teaching materials, and importantly, the online store to order these inexpensive cardboard boxes. They cost about $1 a piece, and all the money you save and the kids save gets donated to the charities of their choice.
Wow. So, for example, if I've got a class with 25 students for $25 plus shipping, I guess, you will send me these flattened boxes. They come to my classroom, and you have some contextual teaching materials so that we can introduce the topic, and then the kids start decorating the boxes.
So all they need is art supplies and their imagination, and a school and classroom will have plenty of both. And then they decide, or the teachers decide, what charity will benefit from the money they save, when the money is going to come back to their school, for example, for this donation. Maybe they'll have a speaker from the homeless charity that's going to benefit from this to talk about how that money will be used in their community for helping homeless families get back on their feet. Or they can choose a food bank or a shelter or whatever organization they choose to donate and teach about that, teach about values as you talked about, and teach how kids will help those homeless families in their community.
Can you show me an example of a kid decorated box? I think you have
Here's
one
one of
there.
my favorite. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but there
I
is a
can.
dinosaur.
Oh, it says welcome. Oh, well, that's beautiful. Can you flip it around to the other side? The things out the other windows?
And there's a dinosaur and a unicorn living happily under one roof in this box.
We want to take care of those homeless dinosaurs and unicorns. I love it. I love the rainbow shingles on the roof too. What was the age of that child? Do you know?
That was a high school kid with an art talent, I must confess.
Oh,
But whether it
okay.
be a preschooler who's using stickers and collage materials, or whether it be a talented high schooler with artistic bent, it doesn't matter. It's every kid creates their own unique box, and they're going to be proud of it, and their parents will be proud of it, and they'll help fill it up.
I love it. And when the money gets delivered to the organization, either the school as the intermediary, and then to the nonprofit that's going to be using the money to help the homeless families, the student gets to keep the box, right?
It's their box,
It's,
and fill it out next year, fill it in the year after. It's their creation. We've talked about this in the context of schools or organizations or congregations doing this, but this is also a terrific project for families to organize with their kids and their friends' kids. For example, the holidays are coming up. It's a time we think about those who are most vulnerable in our community. Wouldn't it be terrific to organize this with the parents or the grandparents and the kids in your family? Create those boxes, put them on your Christmas table or on your Thanksgiving table, then take them home, fill it with change, and a year later, bring that money back and donate to any homeless shelter. Make that a family tradition.
I love that idea. That is awesome. I mean, the idea of, in between the Thanksgiving feast when you're digesting before you cut into the pumpkin pie and all the rest of it, to maybe clear the table a little bit and bring this out and have kids and parents and grandparents work together on an art project for this great benefit. It's a lovely idea. Great.
There's also an idea to use this as a play date, not just at the holidays, but throughout the year. If you've got a birthday present or play date occasion, I recently did this with 20 parents and their 4 to 6 year old kids as an engaging and interesting play date and a meaningful one for them to do with their kids. Now, they may not have understood all the ins and outs of homelessness, but those kids, even at a young age, understood there are some kids that don't have a home, and they're going to help those kids. And they've also gotten at a very early age the habit of saving money and saving money in a way that will help others in their community. What a lovely gift to give your kids over their lifetime.
Absolutely. I love it. I've been doing some Skype classroom visits, and I just had the idea that there's only one Mark Wasserman, as amazing as he is, and how many places can you be in at one time? But the idea of visiting classrooms and organizations outside of your community without your having to get on a plane, do it via Skype. I think that's something you might want to take a look at, Mark, because you could, in fact, lead a lesson in this, but do it from the comfort of your home and help kids on the other side of the screen understand that they are helping and giving while they're having fun, and there'd be no limit to your outreach then.
Brilliant idea, Annie. Let's go forward. And I got a great coach in you on how to use Skype.
Okay, we'll talk about that offline. How about telling us some of the results that you've had? How long have you been doing this? How much money have you raised? How many families have you helped? What do you know?
We launched this project 3 years ago, and in those 3 years, nearly 30,000 kids across the country have raised over $400,000 for local charities. And we don't know specifically which of those local charities it might be, but on average, boxes return about $15 in change for every box returned back. And that creates a lovely donation from that class or those groups of kids to any homeless charity. Where kids are realizing that their box may not have much more than $15, but if you combine it with 10 or 20 or 30 other kids' collections, you've got a sizable donation that you can make to the charity that you choose and to help homeless families, a food bank, or any other charity in your community. Powerful lesson for kids to learn at any age.
Yeah, that working together, it we make a difference. That's really beautiful. I'm wondering if the kids at any time, and you hear this anecdotally, I don't know if you do follow-up studies, if the kids who are creating these boxes and collecting the money, do they ever have direct contact with the organizations and actually, I guess what I'm getting at is see the people that are benefiting from their contribution?
Absolutely. That's how, in fact, many organizations who already have a connection, they're volunteering at a local food bank, they're volunteering at a local shelter. They can take their kids to that food bank, to that shelter, see just how the money that they're saving is going to be used to help homeless families in their community or feed the hungry in their community. And what a worthwhile experience. There's one synagogue that took this even a step further with their preschool kids. They took all the money that the kids had saved, had the kids count out the money, and these preschoolers then learned the relationship of a penny to a nickel to a dime to a quarter. And then they went shopping with the kids at a local supermarket, asking the kids, what do you think the homeless women that we're going to be helping are going to want to eat? And so the kids and their teachers and their parents went shopping, filled baskets, and brought that as their gift from their collection. So in fact, it wasn't this abstract concept of money and what does it use. It's the real tangible food that these women are going to be able to enjoy thanks to these kids' collections.
That's wonderful. Really, really heartfelt, and I'm feeling it would have long-lasting repercussions in the development of those kids, even though they're starting at a very young age, which is a great place to start. So Thanksgiving is a couple of weeks away, and we all have lots of things to be thankful for, and some of us can be thankful for opportunities to help other people. Mark, where can people find out more about Houses for Change and how to get involved?
Go to our website, housesforchange.org, or visit us on our newly created Facebook page.
Oh,
Just search
yay.
Houses for Change,
Okay.
and then you'll be able to get to our website where there are great photos of these kids with their creations. There's instructions for how to do this project, how to get media attention. This is a wonderful story that the media love about kids in their community helping other kids who need that help. And there's the online store to order the boxes. And if you have any questions, there's a contact page. Just shoot us an email. We're pleased to share any information that we have that you might use.
That's great, Mark. And before we leave, I would love for you to show the photo you showed me earlier of some kids who are looking really proud of their boxes. Oh, that's great. Look at those. And those kids, where were they? Were they I know you're in Florida. Were they in your state?
They were in our city here. They were at a congregation, and they were collecting money for Family Promise of South Palm Beach County, the local chapter where I volunteer and where the members of their congregation also volunteer. So there's immediate connection that they had to the boxes they were making, the money they will save, and to the homeless families that they sometimes often volunteer with.
Those kids look awfully proud, as they should be. And I want to thank you really sincerely for this amazing idea. I'm glad that Sue, your wife, gave you an opportunity to voice it, because I know sometimes those ideas we get in the middle of the night, if we don't say them out loud, we forget them. So I'm glad you remembered this idea. I'm glad you acted on it. And I'm glad that you're still obviously very passionate about helping kids help others. So thanks a lot. Happy Thanksgiving. And we'll talk soon.
Back at you, Annie. Thank you.
Bye.